It starts in the frozen deep, where ice meets ocean. Only the fearless dive in. The sea has always called. We take the plunge together. Welcome to the Glass Beach in Sidney, BC. Radio Sidney, in partnership with the Peninsula Celebrations Society, are proud to bring you Sydney's Polar Bear Swim 2026. Now, here are your hosts, Mike Short and Nicola Furlong.
And a very pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Sydney. Welcome to the Polar Bear Swim, taking place right in front of us here at the Waterfront Inn and Suites. We're expecting a pretty decent crowd on hand as folks start to gather. And welcome back, everyone. Michael Short, along with Nicola Furlong and Mike Williamson, and a cast of thousands out here in front of the Sydney Waterfront Inn and Suites. And, like many coastal communities across Canada, Sydney's Polar Bear Swim grew out of a simple idea: start the new year by doing something memorable and communal, and just maybe a little bit uncomfortable. And to give us a little bit more on the background of the Polar Swim here in Sydney, Nicola, once again, real pleasure to have you take up the co-hosting position. And what did you find out? I know you were wandering down there for a while.
Hi, yes, thank you, Michael, and Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to all our listeners and viewers. Yes, I had an opportunity to wander down in front of the waterfront here, where we have now, as you can see, many folks gathering. I came a little earlier, chatted to a couple of people, in particular Christina Leck, who's the organizer as part of the Peninsula Celebrations Society, a group of about 12 or so volunteers who are handling all this. And she was mentioning that the event actually started many years ago at Island View Beach, which some of us around here would know. It's a little bit more exposed, and they moved it to other locations, and then finally came to the Glass Beach in Sydney about 2020. And it's been a great event here. We have a lovely sheltered bay, as you can see from overlooking the bay. And the idea, the beach is called the Glass Beach because sometime in the 1900s, there was some dump of glass. I don't really understand it myself, but over the years, the glass has been tumbled and smoothed, and then it comes in on the tide, and people love going down to that beach, picking up a piece of glass. And my understanding is, if the beach is exposed, the individuals who are part of the Polar Swim, if they're really on top of it and on the ball, they'll look down as they come out of the water, trying to find a little piece of glass to give them a little memento for their event, their chilly plunge today, which is kind of going to be, I think, a super day for it. We have beautiful weather. Don't you think, Michael? This is astounding. We have been so fortunate. We did the Remembrance Day parade. We did the Santa Claus parade, and now this, and the weather has just been absolutely fantastic. And conditions are almost too good, Nicola, because we're in a high tide, and that's kind of robbed us of a bit of a beachfront. Right, and I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge for the plungers because they don't really have a place to line up on the waterfront. They're kind of crowding out now onto the small bit of beach that's available. The Celebration Society folks had to drag some logs out of the way to give them some more beachfront, and we're expecting 300 to 500 swimmers, so that's a lot of people to be crowding around onto the beach, and they're going to be in the water almost instantly because the tide is right up to us.
I guess I don't know if there's a tactic to all of this. Having never taken a cold plunge in the ocean, I've taken my fair share of cold baths and gotten out and a little bit chilled, but nothing to this extreme. But I imagine it's quick in and faster out.
Well, that's interesting. It's not so quick in, I guess, because I've talked to a couple of people and they say it's really cold and painful, but you kind of push yourself, and part of the deal is you're with a group of 300 to 500 people who are feeling a bit crazy, really cold, and they all kind of go in a big swell, which gives you, of course, courage to go in. And you get in and you hang in there. The idea is to hang in there 60 to 90 seconds. That's kind of the best you can do. There are some veterans plungers who will stay in longer than that, but I think the average person here might come out of there in 90 seconds. And I've learned a couple of tips, though, Michael, if you ever wanted to give it a try. Number one thing is make sure you have 2 toques. Now, I didn't know about the 2 toque method, but number 1 toque is you wear it in the water just in case you get plunged or dunked or splashed. Okay, and keep your top of your head warm, as your mother would have said to you. Wear a hat, Michael. And then when you come out of the water, you throw off that cold and wet hat. You put on a new toque, and then the next trick is, how do you get changed, Michael?
Very carefully.
Exactly. You're in full view of thousands of people crowded on a beach. The top-notch idea is to wear some kind of bathrobe or long poncho, which allows you to wriggle out of your bathing suit with some decorum, slide into something else, keep yourself warm enough to get out of here and back to the car or your house or something, warm yourself up. Hopefully you have a hot chocolate or something, warm coffee on the beach when you come back with your warm clothes, but no alcohol. Alcohol opens up your pores and your vein, and it's not good for your blood. So you don't do the alcohol at the start. It makes you colder, makes it harder to recover. So a nice hot drink that's non-alcoholic is a great idea.
Now, this being New Year's Day means that we had the New Year's Eve celebration.
Yes,
so I'm wondering if a few people built up the courage that way in preparation to being...
I think possibly, Michael, and the one I think fascinating fact is that the water temperature is warmer than the air temperature. Now, that's kind of hard to take in, but the water temperature today is about 9 degrees Celsius, and our air today is about 7. So you're actually warmer in the water than you are standing outside. But, of course, we are well-dressed to be walking in the outside. And when you're coming from the beach, from the water, wearing only a bathing suit, you're going to be really chilly as they come off.
I also understand that there are, this is not a competitive event, but there are awards that are presented for the oldest and the youngest participants. Did you get any information on that?
I did. The Peninsula Celebrations Society tasked one individual to wander around to the town markets, shops, stores, and ask them to contribute some little fun gifts. And they've got quite a few of them, and they have all kinds of categories yes, oldest and youngest, and also the category who's traveled the farthest to come to Sydney. Some people in the past have been from Japan or Germany. Some people actually travel the world doing polar swims.
Oh my goodness.
Other prizes are for costumes, and that's one of the fun thing about the Sydney polar swim is it's big on costumes. And if our viewers can take a look, you'll start seeing people putting on costumes, looking a bit odd, and they wear these costumes in advance. And they'll get picked out by the Peninsula Celebrations Society for their costume for being most fun, most colorful, most coordinated. And then when they're ready to take their plunge, off come the costumes and you're stripped down to just your bathing suit.
Well, we are starting to see the buildup of a pretty good crowd filling up along the dock. That's probably 2 or 3 people deep. And then, of course, right in front of us of the hotel, there are quite a few people starting to gather, and we go. We just had our first technical...
A minor setback here on the studio stage, but that's okay. So we have a lot more people arriving now. Suddenly we have the whole waterfront all the way to the pier and all the way down to the fish market and the restaurant starting to fill up with 2 and 3 levels of depth of people. Everybody pretty well dressed, and now I'm looking down. Oh, I see someone actually who's stripped down, Michael, wearing just his bathing suit, in a blue bathing suit, and some of the guys down there, a younger man perhaps, and there's an individual wearing some horns like he's a Viking, so I can see some of the costumes starting to come to the fore here.
Well, as we mentioned, we are coming to you from the Sydney Waterfront and Suites, and of course they offer a personalized hospitality that only a small family-owned property can provide. Sydney Waterfront Inn features breathtaking ocean, sun, and moon rises with Mount Baker in the background.
Absolutely.
And,
but today
unfortunately,
we don't get to see.
today we're not seeing too much of that.
Right.
of course, if you do elect to stay here at the inn, there are 34 well-appointed guest rooms and suites, and includes a complimentary continental breakfast. So no better place to experience not only events like this, but of course year-round right here at the Inn and Suites here in Sidney.
Absolutely. And we are so fortunate, Michael, to be sitting here above the waterfront in this beautiful suite, lovely balcony overlooking this incredible ocean view with the San Juan and Gulf Islands looking right in front of us, the Sidney Island, James Island, some boats going by. And I see that our rescue crew in a Zodiac is out there ready. But I understand from Christina, our Celebration Society volunteer who coordinates this, that there hasn't been any serious events in the past, which is just wonderful to hear.
It really is. I mean, let's face it, folks, on the serious side, jumping into, 9-degree water is not for the faint of heart. And I'm no cardiologist, but I got to think that maybe that's something you check before you participate in something like this, for sure. We're seeing a couple of costumes down there. I see somebody in a yellow, maybe bear type of costume. We are getting close. We're about 6 minutes away. I understand in the past, too, that there's been an issue with people jumping the gun a little bit and rushing into the water before the official start. And I guess that's a big no-no.
Yeah, it is a big no-no. The idea is that everybody waits and goes together as a group so that there's this big collaborative crush of people that head into the water, giving each other courage to go. And if you're in the front, you got to keep moving because there's somebody coming behind you. Maybe not too quickly, but they're coming behind you. And as Christina told me, she has done it, as I mentioned. She said it's pretty painful, but you mentally just push yourself through because you know somebody's coming behind you. And if they can do it, you can do it. And if you can do the coldest, worst thing in the start of the year, you can pretty well handle anything else the rest of the year.
Nicola, we've talked about this in the past, and that is the sense of the community here. And again, we're seeing it in spades today. Lots of people turning out for this. This really is something that, I mean, yes, we have some of the tourists that come in and people from around the world that will come in, but the fact that so many folks that live here in Sidney show up for it is a real testament. We've got a lot. Now, I guess the one question I have for you is, all of these swimmers have to be registered, is that correct?
Oh, I have no idea. I think the Celebration Society would like them to be because they want to know how many have gone in and how many are coming out, importantly, and also for their own statistics for the future to say, last year we had X number of swimmers and this year we have a little more or a little less. It's always important to know who's involved.
Now, is there a requirement for them to be for distance covered? You mentioned the fact that they have to keep moving forward because there's somebody behind them.
Pretty well much.
But is it complete submersion in the water, or is it sort of, I just put my toe in and good enough, I've done it.
I think that, to be a true plunger, you got to go right up to your neck. You don't have to go completely under, that's for sure. But to go up to your neck is the key. I would think getting past the old waist must be really difficult. But some of these people, they seem to really enjoy it. And of course, we have people in this area, Michael, who are polar swimmers all year long. They often will swim just in their bathing suits, or they will wear the neoprene outfits, and they'll be the cold water swimmers. But it's not unusual. I talked to a group down here, a gal, and she's got a group of ladies who have a boot camp that they come and attend twice a week. And they come every year, and they feel that they can do this swimming more than just on the polar day. They try to do it more often.
Well, I know my wife has tried the cold water swimming, and she did that once and hasn't gone back. So I think that tells me lots about what the experience was like.
Okay, we're getting close.
It looks like we're getting ready. Yeah.
Now, have you look? There's a fellow, there's our fellow with the horns, and a fellow in a fisherman's hat. The yellow fisherman hat. Here they come. 2, 1. Here they go.
And
oh my
they're
gosh.
off.
Look
at a number of people. A number of people. We've got a guy out there with.
Now listen to the screams. Let's listen. A couple of guys swimming out, Michael. Holy mackerel. But look at them coming in. Oh, they're having a grand time. I can't believe it. Starting to move in. Actually, quite a number of people are staying out there, and they seem to be having a lot of fun. I'm amazed. It doesn't seem to be that cold at all.
I'm surprised how many people are staying out there as if it was just a pleasant day at the beach.
And that's amazing. I want to give a shout out. Christina asked me to give a shout out to her family in Windsor, Ontario, watching all the way from Windsor. And I want to give a shout out to some members of my family watching all the way from the Ile d'Orléans outside of Quebec City. And I'm sure we have people watching from many other places in Canada and around the world. So, and obviously lots of people in Sydney out here watching these people. And they're still in the water, Michael. So our minute is well past. We're going to get to more than 1 minute.
I think there's got to be special awards. And we've got someone doing the breaststroke making their way back into the beach, but they are a long way out there.
They are.
It's absolutely
really,
crazy.
If you didn't realize it was January 1st, you'd think you were in a swimming pool somewhere in a very warm climate.
We got Mike Williamson up here. Mike was down below at the beach. And Mike, I guess just your thoughts. Have you done this?
I have swam in cold water before, not necessarily as an organized event, but one of the things that makes this special, of course, is the energy in the crowd and the other swimmers driving themselves forward. And I think what we have now is a bit of a competition to see who's going to be the longest, I wouldn't say survivor, but certainly the longest swimmer out there. And we have about 10 or 15 contenders still. This is incredible.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I hope someone's standing by with a hot toddy or something because...
I think so. Well, I'm starting to look at the people coming into the beach and seeing how they're getting themselves dressed. And really, people are not really in a mad panic. They seem to be calmly putting on their towels and ponchos and slipping off some of their clothes and adding some warm clothes. So not many people wore a toque, so very people were not following the advice that I was given. But it seems like they don't need it today.
Well, once again, I want to just remind people that we are coming to you from the Sidney Waterfront Inn and Suites. And whether you're visiting here for leisure or work, the staff here at the Sidney Waterfront Inn are absolutely amazing. And we certainly thank them for the opportunity to use one of their ocean view suites to bring you this broadcast. Again, these people are absolutely crazy. They're actually, just sitting there and having long conversations,
Absolutely. It's like they're in some Caribbean pool. Amazing. They're really having a fun time, chatting away. I can't believe it. That's just insane, really insane.
So, Mike, I got to ask you as a Navy guy, you've been all over the world. Have you had an opportunity to swim in some of those locations that...
Well, in the Navy, you really only want to swim when you want to, and that's generally tied to warm water. And I don't think that a January day in Sydney at 9 degrees qualifies as a warm day. But again, it's great to see folks out there, and it's now an endurance contest with those 10 or 15 people out there, one of them wanting to be the last one. Of course, the furthest out swimmers treading water with his sunglasses on, that may be wishful thinking, but I think he's a pretty good contender to be the last one coming in. And of course, maybe some of them have lost a bit of their decision-making powers with cold brains and don't really realize how long they're going to be out there. So hopefully somebody comes to their senses and the folks that are still out there start to work their way back to the sands.
Absolutely. It is very impressive to see this kind of dedication. And Nicola, I guess maybe it goes a little bit to what you were saying earlier when it comes to the water temperature versus the air temperature. The water is actually warmer than it was than us standing up here.
Absolutely. Well, actually, Michael, there are several fellows to our left going back in the water again and having a photograph taken, as calm as anything. They don't seem to be in any way freezing. And as Michael Williamson said, there's quite a number of people trying to get the record for being in there the longest, and they're all treading water carefully, quietly, chatting among themselves, and they don't look in any distress, and they don't really look like they've numbed their brains yet, Michael.
And I think Mike Williamson is right. I think there is a stubborn battle for the last survivor here. I think we've got television show here in the works of the last survivor in the cold water. But
Absolutely. I think it's going to be interesting to see who hangs in there the longest. A group has now come in. I don't blame them. And it seems several of them are starting to make their way to the shore. And I would imagine, I don't know what time it is, Michael, but they've been in for more than 5 minutes.
oh, easily. We're, actually just 6 minutes.
Oh, wow.
It seems
Okay.
a lot longer for some reason. I don't know why. I guess
what it
maybe
feels like for them.
we're living through their, I don't know,
pain.
their pain, their endurance. But it is very impressive. People are starting to, they've lost the crowd though. There's a lot of people leaving.
Yep, they are. And I can see some people now coming up who have swum, have done the plunge, and they're casually still in their bathing suits with towels wrapped around them, but they're not in any mad panic to rush and get changed. So really, I think we're the ones who are losing out here, Michael, sitting here on our chairs. We should be diving in there.
Okay, you first.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, we'll have to think about that one for next year.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it'll be interesting to get I guess maybe a final tally from the organizers in terms of the numbers of participants that showed up today. Certainly a couple thousand people, I would say, in terms
Absolutely,
of
watching.
So
Absolutely. Yeah.
once again, Sydney has come through with an immense community spirit, and as Mike mentioned earlier, a sense of energy, a sense of, almost a sense of pride, I guess.
I think so, absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of pride, there's, I think, 8 swimmers left, or maybe 9. And I wanted to mention, I don't know, Michael, if you know the origin of the whole idea of polar swimming.
Is it a Nordic thing?
No, my understanding it's a Canadian thing from Vancouver. A fellow named George Pantage from Vancouver, but he's from a Greek extraction originally. He felt one should swim every day of one's life. And in the 1920s, he got some friends to join him and start swimming in Vancouver. And he was the start of polar swimming, I believe, in Canada.
Wow, there you go. Another Canadian contribution to world culture.
Absolutely.
You gotta
Cold.
love it.
Has to do with cold, of course.
It's no wonder people don't want to mess with Canadians. I mean, if you got people that want to jump into ocean water, are we getting lower, do you think, in terms
We've
of
got 9. Well, we got a new guy coming
a
back
new
in,
guy.
and he's diving down.
And he went down.
Oh, wow, like it's nothing.
But I don't know that counts because he just went in now.
Yes, no, he hasn't been
this
in the
chap
entire
with the
time.
sunglasses way out there.
Yep.
He's been out there since the whole thing. We're now 9 minutes in.
Yeah.
We got more people jumping and diving off the.
I think people are just starting to get back in, but I see, Michael, we have a couple of young gals right in front of us.
Yes.
Very small young gals, and I think they've been out there the entire time.
They
So
have.
That's pretty impressive. They might be in the running for the longest staying out, and maybe in the running for the youngest participant.
Good gravy. I mean, I just don't know what to make of. We've got some more young people off to my left here that are, she went out mid-thigh and is back in. So maybe the water went on that one. I'm not sure.
I'm amazed that they're really literally just wearing a regular bathing suit. I mean, I can see wearing the old neoprene scuba diver outfit. Absolutely, give that a try.
The dry suit,
the dry suit. I could see doing that, but I really cannot see swimming in the Pacific Ocean January 1st just wearing a regular bathing suit. And yet all these people have done just that. And as we say, we've got 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 at least hanging in. Oh, people are starting to come back in, as you said, Michael, so they can't be counted for the longest survivors, but they're still involved.
Absolutely insane. That's all I can say.
Well, I hope they've brought some high-calorie energy bars or something afterwards, because I understand when you come out, that's when you really get the shock. Is your body gets a
Right.
shot of dopamine, which is marvelous, but then you're really cold and need something to recuperate. So, but I really think it's amazing. I'm seeing these people wandering around still in their bathing suits with a towel over their shoulders, and they don't seem cold. Now, I know it isn't that cold. It is like 7 degrees or so, but I really think you'd be wanting to get into a hot shower at home at the very least. Now, our far-out swimmer, Michael Williamson, who you picked at the very beginning, he's headed out and he's almost at the rescue Zodiac. So he's got a long way out, and he's got a long way to come back. So I guess he must be really pushing to be the longest survivor today in the water.
Or maybe it's self-preservation.
He's going to climb on
maybe
board?
he feels like he's getting close and may not have what it takes to get
Come
back to
back.
shore. So
Okay, so
maybe
he can-
a smart idea.
Yeah.
The search and rescue folks are keeping a close eye on him.
Are they ever? There's three of them watching very carefully.
Hopefully, we joke, but obviously we're not thinking that there's any danger here.
No.
He certainly seems to be moving around quite nicely. It's starting to thin out a little bit in the water. I think for original swimmers, we might be down to around 8, maybe 8 or 9. But that's about it for right now.
And I think why we're so fortunate to be here, Michael, that we have some sailboats out in the distance. We've had a big tanker go by. We've got our islands to view. I mean, what an incredible spot to have a polar swim. The location is gorgeous, and no wonder why all these people are coming, not just to see the swim, but to see this beautiful waterfront that we have here in Sidney, BC.
Absolutely. Just before we go, maybe get a final word from Mike Williamson. Mike, put a cap on this one for us.
Sure, thanks very much. Well, it's a bit ironic to see green grass and flowers and a polar bear swim at the same time in January, but that's beautiful British Columbia. I think I've seen some common sense in the crowd, and that's mainly our four-legged participants and viewers. There were no dogs in the water, but they're certainly all on the shore, and I think to put a cap on it, as you say, is it's just a great family event. It reflects the nature of what we like to do in Sidney. A beautiful location here at Sidney Inn and Suites. Good audience participation. A few stalwarts still out in the water, and we'll hang around for a few more minutes and see who's the winner of the longest time in very cold water.
Thank you, Michael.
Nicholas, some final thoughts from you?
Well, I think it's just been a delight. As I say, I'm sitting here very comfortably in the Sidney Inn and Waterfront Suites hotels. It's just beautiful, and I'm looking on this gorgeous scenery. I have to pinch myself regularly, Michael, because I don't come from British Columbia. I spend a lot of time back east, and I'm always thrilled to be in Sidney, BC. And days like this, events like this, make me realize this is the place I chose, and I'm glad I chose it, and I'm fortunate to be here.
Well, we are certainly fortunate to have you here doing some broadcasting with us. Nicola Furlong, Mike Williamson, Steve Martin, who's done work with the camera, and of course our fearless leader, Bill Collins, running the show for us here, folks. Thank you again for tuning in to Radio Sidney, and hey, I think we'll be back soon with another live community broadcast in the near future. Till then, I'm Michael Short.
I'm Nicola Furlong.
And Michael Williamson.
We'll talk again soon.
Right, Happy New Year.
And that wraps up Sydney's Polar Bear Swim 2026. Congratulations to all the brave swimmers who took the plunge at Glass Beach. Thank you for joining us. This broadcast was brought to you by Radio Sidney in partnership with the Peninsula Celebrations Society. Special thanks to the Sidney Waterfront Inn and Suites for hosting Radio Sidney. We'll see you next year. Same beach, same chill, same thrill. Happy New Year.